Welcome to The Buzz. We're going to have some fun, hear things you'll never hear anywhere else, and learn how to take 1 hour off your marathon PR. That may be an exaggeration, but I am Buzz Burrell, and we're going to have real conversations with the people who help define this amazing sport of running, which often feels like more than just a sport. So send me your questions and comments to buzz@ultrasignup.com so we can do this together. This is a production of UltraSignup. Thank you for joining me. This is Buzz Burrell. I hope you're enjoying The Buzz. And don't forget that UltraSignup has 2 other shows on its podcast network. Check out The Trailhead with Zoe Rome and Brendan Leonard, where they celebrate the quirks and culture of trail running as only those 2 can do. And Between 2 Pines, our offbeat, laugh-out-loud show with Dom Grossman and Andy Pearson. And here's something new. Both The Buzz and The Trailhead are now on YouTube. So whether you want to listen on the run or watch from home, we've got you covered. Just search for UltraSignup on YouTube and hit subscribe. This episode is brought to you by Arc'teryx. Based in British Columbia, Canada, Arc'teryx has been making outstanding technical outerwear for 35 years, and now they are making outstanding technical trail running shoes. The Vertex Speed is their new shoe. It features a Vibram Mega Grip outsole, 7mm heel-to-toe drop, and a zoned midsole, which means it's stiff in the front for control on technical terrain and softer in the heel for cushion on the descents. One of their models has a gaiter cuff to keep the dirt out, a feature I definitely appreciate because it greatly improves function while adding almost no weight. Speaking of weight, these only weigh a bit over 8 ounces. You can purchase the Vertex Speed online or at Arc'teryx's own retail stores. Thank you, Arc'teryx, and to everyone listening for your support. Hey, I am not in Chamonix, not in Mammoth Lakes, Tahoe, or Utah. The race season is winding down, but not quite, as we're about to hear. I am in sunny Boulder, Colorado, talking in person with Candice Burt. Hi, Candice.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, this is so good to do it in person because, you're such a bright, cheery, and intelligent person that this is more fun to do it this way.
It is, and we keep meeting on the trail. So it's about time, to have an actual planned.
It is. I wasn't even aware that you were living in Boulder until this June. Boom, there you were.
Yep.
And I was visiting at the time. And then just a week ago, we're on Green Mountain and wow, Candice, hey, hi, Buzz.
Yeah, I almost got you to take me up the second Flatiron, but
well, you managed that on your own, and
yeah,
you do all sorts of things on your own, and we're going to get into that. That's kind of that you stimulate me. We could hardly stop talking on the trail, on the Green Mountain Trail, and you would just come back from an attempt on Nolan's.
Yep,
and you really got me going, but we're going to pause and come back to that because we have to set the stage that you are the progenitor, the popularizer of the 200-mile trail race. Without a doubt, is you who put these on the map.
I'm sorry, everybody. It's true. It is true.
I'm sorry. Oh, gosh, you can't be that modest because it's a total thing.
Yeah, I think that people were kind of looking for something else to push themselves on. But ultra running, if you want to be really competitive, you go to Chamonix, you go to a lot Western states, or a lot of ultras are up and coming with that. And it's really exciting to see how fast people have gotten. But if you want an adventure and you want kind of that different old school ultra, I think going to the 200s is kind of giving people that different path to take.
Right.
They're not as interested in times. And people are setting fast times, though.
Oh, it's
really fast.
Yeah, really fast. Well, just to drill into that a little bit, because your website, we should mention your website, everybody, destinationtrailrun.com.
Yep.
So officially you are Destination Trail.
Yeah, that's right. And we have the Triple Crown and Arizona Monster. So 4 different really, really long events.
Right. Now this comes, I think it was a 2017. So there's the Tahoe 200 in June.
Yeah.
The Bighorn 200 up in
Bigfoot. Yeah.
Bigfoot, sorry,
Close.
in August.
Yeah.
And then coming up in a matter of 1 week from now, the Moab 240.
Yeah, next week it starts. Yeah.
So we're recording this on October 3rd, and I believe the Moab 240 is October 10th to 15th.
It starts next Friday, whatever day that is. Yeah, I think you may be right. I don't keep track of the days, just the day of the week.
So just to flesh this out, the 200-mile trail race, I think it's your website says the 10th to 15th.
That would be right then.
That's 5 days. And so
Yeah.
instead of like, whoa, the race is on April 1st, no, this is a 5-day window. That's how long it takes. The
Right.
cutoff is 4.5 days.
That's right. Yeah, 240 miles. I mean, the thing is, we want to make sure that back of the pack runners can, if they, keep going, they can get to the finish and get like that buckle. So I've always felt like it's important to design my races so that front and back of the pack have time. So you could walk it if you want.
You can walk
You
the
could
whole
walk it.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah. You can walk it.
Well, the top people are not running the whole thing.
No, they're not. Because these races are in the mountains. And ultimately, you have to take care of your body in these kind of races. So there's going to be times where it makes sense to hike. You might be eating, you might be drinking, or if you get really sick, you might have to walk a little bit. So there's no race of this duration in which somebody actually runs every step.
No.
But they're running, the front of the pack is running a lot.
Are they?
Lot. Yeah. I would say when you see times that are under 50 hours, they're running the flats, they're running the downs, they're running some gradual ups even.
Well, Candice, let me ask you about sleep deprivation.
Ooh,
okay. Pardon me, because, the advances in ultra-running now, people talk about carbo loading. I mean, they're pounding the industrialized sugars and keep you up on the hydration and great new shoes now. But in a 200, there's some sleep deprivation, is there not?
Yeah, there's a lot of potential sleep deprivation. I mean, I think everybody from front to back of the pack is getting less sleep than they normally would. In the front of the pack, people might just be getting real short cat naps. But I have heard that one of the techniques now is sleep an hour and a half on night one to keep like your rhythm going, and so that you don't slow down too much over those, if you're front of the pack 2 days that you're running. And that does make a lot of people faster.
So they're just going to plan
Yep.
on 90 minutes the first night, no matter what.
Just let people go. If let your competition go. If they go, you'll get them later. The amount of time you can lose by not sleeping is so significant that you might as well get a little bit of sleep. I mean, I've seen front of the pack lead for 40 some hours and then get lost and lose 15 spots or not even finish the race, like fast elite runners. So you got to be smart. Keep the brain like
something else enters into it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not how you perform in a 200 is not just about speed because, in a sprint, obviously, all other things equal, you have a great coach, you have great nutrition, all that, it does come down to genetics.
Mm-hmm.
The longer this with any ultra, really, there's a lot of, especially 100 miles and over, there's so much that comes into it that you can have a huge edge if you have experience.
Right.
Sleep,
you look at the top people. Go to destinationtrailrun.com and you see the people who've won it. These aren't people who are winning marathons.
No.
Maybe not even 100 sometimes.
Yeah.
Although Courtney did have the course record for ages at I think it was Moab. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Courtney is very talented at distances. I think she's gonna do a marathon. Did you hear about that?
Which one?
I don't remember, but I'm so curious. Like I imagine she'll do great.
If she's going to, if it's a trail marathon, it's a competitive one. She's not going to walk away from it with it. She did Zagama a number of years ago.
Oh, okay.
And she finished 10th. And I thought 10th was excellent.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, but.
Sure. Yeah. But she really does excel at that 100-mile plus.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Wow. Okay. when I ran into you in June, I said, wow, Candice, I see you got a 300 miler
Yeah.
on the calendar now.
We went too far.
Well, that's what you said at the time.
Yeah. It's still true.
So
it's so much work. So you were saying 5 days. This is over 7 days.
7 days.
Yeah. And Moab's really 4.5. So we went to 7 days. It's just, it's so much work.
So by too far, that means from the standpoint of logistics,
you
got volunteers, you got paid people, you got this whole scene, or do you mean from the standpoint of the participants?
I think from the organizational standpoint, because for participants, the 7 days, especially on a course in Arizona, has mountains. But overall, I think the elevation gain is around 40,000 feet for 300 miles. So they had a lot of time to spend at the aid stations and to sleep. And we had a high. No, none of us did. That's exactly right. But we had to have so many paid staff and so many volunteers. It's a lot. So I think for me, this year I've been kind of trying to figure out is that too far?
Okay, listeners, you heard it here on the
Sign
Buzz
up while
podcast.
You can.
Sign up while you can. Sign up while you can. And the person who invented the 200-mile trail race is wondering if a 300 is too far.
Yeah.
So, okay, we're hitting some boundaries here.
I would like people to prove to me that it's not too far.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
But for me, it feels a little too far.
I mean, I'm not going to volunteer for 7 days, but I'm not that nice of a guy.
Right. Yeah. I mean, think about the kind of volunteer that takes.
Oh, it's someone besides me.
Yeah.
Kudos
besides me.
To the people. Well, just walking that through, joking aside.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned the front of the pack and you mentioned back of the pack. So for this distance, the spread is ludicrous. I mean, at the Hard Rock 100, you can have a 24-hour spread right there just for Hard Rock. So people are hanging out at aid stations for, 16 hours. But on this, someone could be at an aid station for 2 days.
3. Yeah, 3. I think we need food trucks or something.
Trucks.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think it would be really cool for a race like this to actually separate it so people enter the competitive race or the regular race, and the competitive race just starts a day later.
Good call.
Yeah.
It's like Run, Rabbit, Run.
Yeah.
They've always had the tortoise and the hare.
Mm-hmm.
That's very good because then you get it a little more tight. Because otherwise, 3 days at an aid station is a little nuts.
That's a lot. Yeah. And you could definitely cut that down. But the problem arises when you have people who are fast, and maybe they don't even know they're fast, who start with the slow group.
And then they're going to get to the aid station before anyone's there.
Yeah, they get there early. We have to have forced sleeping, or something.
Wow, Candice.
So there's no way to do it perfectly, unfortunately. But we tried to start it with different times in that kind of way. The spread wasn't 24 hours, but I think it was 5 or 6 hours. And we thought that was going to help, but the fast people ended up catching up with the slow people and hitting the aid station at the same time. So it kind of overwhelmed the aid station.
Really?
So we're kind of learning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't know. Timing is something you learn after a few years.
Well, how many people are in one of these events?
More than you would think. The first year we had almost 300 people.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I think we started maybe 280. Yeah.
Gotcha. So 300. See,
yeah, but close.
Well, when I did the Marathon du Mont Blanc, the marathon Mont Blanc in Chamonix, speaking of overwhelming the aid station, I was really irked. I'm still PO'd about this, but I came into the second aid station. I actually timed myself.
Oh,
11 minutes, and all I wanted to do was get water.
You were waiting?
Yeah, I was 11 minutes to get water. So,
but
that was 4,000 people. So
that's
good for you. Everyone listening to this, go to the website. You really, it's very heartful. It's very sincere. You talk about this. There's no laps. You're out there in the wilderness.
Right.
You're out there in the backcountry on one big looped, unique course in the mountains and the desert. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're putting on great events.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, what I'm trying to do is make these places accessible to people. Because really, to go out there and do that long of thing by yourself. It takes a lot of experience. And I like doing stuff like that now, but it took me a while to like get to that point. And we have like all the safety backups, where we go out and do our own rescues. We track people the whole way. We have like a big medical team. So it's a really safe environment for people to go out and push themselves. And then, of course, there's aid stations and
Right.
beds and cots.
It's a supported trek.
Yeah, exactly.
And there 5, 10 people racing, and everyone else is on this trek through really nice country.
Yeah. And you could come from Japan or India or any other country and get that experience here in the U.S. of just an incredible route that I think like planning that yourself to come to another country and see some of that beauty would be hard.
Right.
And in fact, if anybody's listening and wants to do that and wants a pacer who speaks their language, we have gotten that for them as well.
Oh, really?
We had a gentleman come from Japan, and we got him a pacer who speaks Japanese.
Wow.
And so we'll do our best to, because it could be hard, and we'll have people come do the races that don't know English, but you can still be like, hey, I want like that.
Excellent.
Universal language.
Universal language. The Triple Crown of 200s, which is Tahoe, Bigfoot, Moab coming up in 1 week. You're coming to one of my hometowns. I mean, the starting line is actually somewhat close to my house.
Oh, cool.
But one person named Killian Korth has won the first 2, and he's going for the so-called sweep, winning all 3 in the same year.
And setting course records.
Was that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so he...
And by the way, I didn't say Killian Jornet. I said Killian Korth, just so you know.
Well, there's something about that name, apparently. There's something there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's crushed the first 2, and we actually had that happen. I'm trying to think what the year was. Mike McKnight did that a number of years ago and set course records. I think it was for all 3. So Killian is on pace to beat those course records and possibly do a sweep if Moab goes well, but you never know, right?
Would you like to offer a prediction?
A prediction. I would say that he seems to really have things dialed. If he can keep his mental state controlled, so the physical state he obviously has the strength and skills to win these races. So I think that as long as he doesn't get a little overly excited, and I always say, don't go out too fast. I don't know him very well personally, but I do know he did let us know he's planning to break the course record by a very significant number.
Oh, he's going to go out strong then.
So it's, that could work or not.
Indeed.
I mean, I like to root for people because I think it's really cool what he's doing. So, but at the same hand, I don't think I could say. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
Sorry.
Fair. Well, that's a fair answer.
Yeah.
And this is going to bring us back around to you.
Okay.
You are an outstanding ultra runner.
Well, thank you. Coming from you, that's about the biggest compliment I could get.
Oh, thank you for saying that, Candice. It's very kind of you. You have FKTs. You had one on Tahoe Rim, if I believe.
Yep.
Wonderland Trail.
Yep.
Arizona Trail is a tough one.
Yeah, hopefully one day we'll get that one.
So I find this very interesting. So obviously you're an accomplished race director, but when you're not directing, you tend to do some really cool projects just on your own. You once ran 50 kilometers a day for 200 days in a row.
Yeah.
That's just completely on your own.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it kind of snowballed because it was almost my birthday and I was like, I want to do something cool. Wasn't in the race season. And I thought, this would be a good time for me to maybe go after the marathon a day record. But when I realized there was an ultra marathon a day record, I thought, okay, that's
you.
Yeah, that's me. I had just moved to Boulder And I didn't realize how much it was going to snow that winter.
There's snow in Boulder?
So much snow. Well, that year was like more snow, of course. So, so it was very challenging weather-wise, starting in November and going through May.
Oh, wow. You just did it in the winter.
Yeah, because I wanted to do it for my birthday, which is November. So I started 2 days before my birthday, though, because I couldn't wait. I was just like, I might as well start now. The record was like 22 days at the time.
You went times 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're ultra runners. Like 22 days is,
Right. Okay.
You got to do more days than somebody's done on the AT, or more days.
Oh, good point.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I felt like there were things that people had already done that I wanted to respect. And maybe they didn't do it consecutively. Like maybe they didn't do a full 50K one day, but I still felt like I needed to at least get to 100. Otherwise.
Well, you got to 200.
Yeah.
So.
We always take things too far.
Okay.
Always.
That's a good explanation.
That's all. Yeah. I mean, that and the number 200.
Which is you. That's your business.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So it all ties in together. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's showing a lot of determination, a lot of consistency, and a lot of not getting injured.
Yeah. A lot of mental illness, No, it's like one of those things where we do sometimes find things in our lives to do physically when we kind of need. I think I needed like kind of a break in terms of like if you run that much every day, you get a chance to pull away from your everyday life a little bit and just kind of stop time.
Right.
It felt like I kind of got to pause things and figure out like, okay, what direction do I want to go? And answer the question of like, how much is too much? I was finally ready at 200 days to just like to have some rest, to like not run that much.
I could believe that.
Yeah. I mean, I think I probably could have stopped sooner, but once I said 200, I had to make it happen.
Oh, wow. What a great story. Thanks for the explanation, going behind the scenes. And now also somewhat behind the scenes is good old Nolan's 14, an epic route in the Colorado mountains. Well, one of the premier fastest known time routes. Turns out with very little fanfare, you'd attempted this just, I think, last month, was it? Yeah,
September 6th. I was kind of going for the full moon, which was the 7th. And unfortunately, we had the La Plata fire that started August 17th, I think. They still had all the closures on the north side. And, I was calling them and seeing if there was any wiggle room, but the closure swath was huge. And I had to go all the way around Hope's Pass.
Right.
But I thought, you know what, like, why not?
You added a lot of distance.
I did. Yeah. I just, for me, I had a window of time to do it, and I'll do it again in the summer. I'm actually really excited about tackling it because I felt like I got a lot of confidence from that kind of attempt. And I really wanted to go southbound because so few people have gone southbound for the record.
Well, let's just fill this in. I think most people know Nolan's 14, but it goes back to a person named Nolan. It started off as how many Colorado 14,000-foot high summits can you do in a given length of time? And so that's how the route got put together.
Yeah.
And it is not a designated route. All it is you have to start at a trailhead, go to the top of 14 summits, and come down to another trailhead within 60 hours.
Yeah.
And the route's open other than that.
It's really cool. I can't think of anything else like it.
You're right.
Yeah, maybe nothing.
No, I'm familiar with the Alps, and I can't.
Like to fit it in that time frame, too, makes it a very challenging run because a lot of people could finish it even in 70 hours or 80. That 60 hours
is right on the rivet.
Yeah. But I did realize now running it that the training that I'd done this summer, like I definitely felt physically capable of probably more like a sub 50.
Wow. Good for you.
But everything has to go right. Everything has to line up.
It would be easy to sprain your ankle. It'd be easy to get sick. It'd be easy to have lightning on one of the summits.
Not eat enough.
And you don't outrun lightning. By the way, just to back up for a
Mm.
second, I think I misspoke. So the rounds in the UK are like this.
Oh, okay.
Pardon me, like the Bob
Very cool.
Graham round, and there's many of them. And so that's prescribed summits, any route you want to take within usually 24 hours,
Okay.
like the
Very
Wicklow
cool.
round, etc. So, but those summits are like 2,200 feet high.
Okay.
Mount
Sure.
Massive at 14.4 is a little higher.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
read something right here that you wrote. This is you talking. I plan to go self-supported, carrying everything I needed and resupplying only at the caches. No crew, no pacers, no photographers, just me in the mountains exactly as I like it. I thought this was the right way to approach my first Nolan's attempt, and it matched the ethos of the route. So you threw down. I'm just
Yeah.
going to kind of call this out, if you don't mind.
Go for it. Yeah.
Because there's
Yeah.
different ways of doing fastest known times, self-supported, unsupported. And nowadays there's a lot of supported attempts. And there were 2 FKTs this very year on Nolan's that had basically race level support.
Absolutely.
I mean, the
Yeah.
crew was 5 people, and they
Yeah.
were paced the whole way.
Multiple pacers.
And if you got into trouble, there was someone standing right next to you.
Yeah.
If you ran out of water, there's someone standing right next to you.
They can carry all your stuff. Like, yeah.
It's rate. I mean, there's support and there's race level support, and
Mm.
good. It's all good. But you went at the opposite direction.
Yeah, because I'm kind of old school in the sense that originally you weren't supposed to have pacers, and that means you need to navigate yourself. And to me, Nolan's is about navigation. It's about picking the best line. If you have a pacer, there's a good chance they're going to be able to totally navigate for you.
Right.
And a lot of people have had pacers who were very experienced on Nolan's, which is a huge advantage. Like to have somebody who could show you where to go when you're sleep deprived and, make you eat. It's just, to me, Nolan's is more about how do I do solo? Like,
wow.
Can I be brave enough to be by myself at night, to go through these boulder fields? And I think that like you said, to each their own, though. Like, a lot of people wouldn't be comfortable going out there by themselves at night and would never do it if they had to do it that way.
They would not do
Would
it.
not do it. And it might not be it's not very safe. I know it's not safe. I've done it. But like, we always take risk out in the mountains, and that's part of the excitement. I think that it feels so much more. I feel so much more alive when everything depends on me.
Wow. I don't think anyone would question that. People listening are trying to put themselves into your shoes, and to point out the obvious, you are out there as a single woman. And these are it's more common to have guys go off by themselves. It's not that common to have women go off by themselves. And like you said, we were just talking about the 200-mile trail races and sleep deprivation. So on Nolan's, you're going nonstop. I mean, there's not only no motel, there's no mountain hut, you're not even camping.
Yeah.
You could make bad choices. You can get a little foggy, and there's no one to follow. I mean, you're up above timberline alone at night.
I know from experience that I perform well without sleep. If I had had an experience of losing touch with reality, something like that, I would probably be uncomfortable doing that in this environment. And I also know, though, it would be possible for me to be out there and to lose my mind, because I've seen people do it. I don't know what the difference is between the people who lose their mind and the people who don't. But I was absolutely hallucinating. Like, day 2, things were moving.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was seeing a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, but I knew it was a hallucination, so I just stayed focused.
So it's a half hallucination.
Yeah.
You're hallucinating, but you know it is. That's
important.
That's important.
Yeah. Just stay there and you're good. You might get scared, but yeah, I would see a lot. So it's interesting, hallucinations in ultras. Have you had any?
No, I haven't. Should I
Things start to move.
If I miss something? There's 2 ways of looking at this.
That's true.
I mean, on one hand, you say, well, do you vomit at every race? No. I mean, you're missing something? Well,
we'll say vomiting is less pleasant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on the gradation scale of, blisters, chafing, vomiting, hallucinations. So vomiting is kind of the worst, but hallucinations are...
Well, let's put it this way. I've had hallucinations of dead people hanging from trees, or like people in cloaks with their backs to me. Just scary, kind of frightening
Halloween stuff.
Halloween stuff on the Tahoe Rim Trail. Yeah, Halloween stuff. That is, maybe I would rather throw up than that. So it just kind of depends what
Right.
kind of a trip you're going on.
We should do a survey.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, kind of grade the difficulties in ultra running.
Would you rather have a blister, hallucination?
Throw up.
I
Yell at
personally
your-
dislike puking.
Oh, I really don't like it.
It's awful.
That's
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah, I'd rather see a dead person on the. I don't mean a real one. Sorry, guys. Somebody's like, Candice said.
Right.
No, but hallucination, a scary
Okay.
hallucination.
I
Be
see.
clear.
Okay. Wow. Interesting discussion.
Yeah.
Because I have wondered about this, and
Yeah.
let's just do a quick left turn into this topic, if you don't mind, because I started to wonder if hallucinating had become a badge of honor, and I'm thinking I don't think that's really a good thing. We start talking about difficulties and overcoming difficulties,
Right.
overcoming your fear, demising who you are, challenging yourself. This is all part of the sport, but being unhealthy, I don't think should be part of the sport. Or if it is, I at least don't think it should be glorified. That's my little mini essay.
You know what? I think that's a great point, because when you're getting to the point where you aren't seeing your normal reality, something's going to have to change. You're going to have to finish and sleep, or you're going to have to sleep. And if you start to notice things changing like that, it's one thing for things to feel like they're moving a little bit. I
Right.
mean, that means you're losing it, or to think that you see a person and it's not. But when they really start to develop the hallucinations, it's time to take care of yourself.
Okay.
And I think that people who don't lose total touch with reality. But I've told people this. One thing we learned in 200s was that you have to sleep. If you're taking much more than 40 hours to finish, like, you should be planning to sleep, because I saw people who didn't know who they were, where they were, and it's very dangerous. Like, they would get aggressive and paranoid, and the psychological symptoms, it can be very dangerous. Not only for the people trying to help them, but for them.
Candice, you really know this. You've been a race.
Yeah.
You're the person to talk to.
Oh, yeah. So we say now, like, you need to sleep. Like, don't try to push. It's not going to make you faster. And we've been on enough rescues. When people start getting lost and there's no trail turns, there's no reason for them to be lost, and we have to go out and rescue them, we'll get to them, and they'll be seeing things that, they saw a city in the middle of the mountain, like, they're long gone.
They're gone.
It's not good.
It's not good. It's dangerous. And that's just a little bit of risk is a reasonable part of life.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've taken risk out. In a way, risk is creeped back in a different way, right? People are sedentary and people don't go outside, but that risk is crept back in through heart disease and mental illness.
True.
So it's this odd little balance, isn't it?
It
is.
is.
That we were, if pardon the expression, we were born to run to a certain degree, and to exercise outdoors in nature is one of the things that Homo sapiens were bred to do. And to challenge ourselves is perfectly reasonable. So it's a gray line to draw. And I thank you for explaining that.
Yeah,
because
it's important.
You're an expert on the topic. We could probably spend the next 2 hours of you just telling stories.
Oh, I got stories, but another time. Yeah, and really, it comes down to, we're not trying to, like, flog ourselves into ultras shouldn't be like that. Like, you should train properly. You should push yourself, but you need to sleep at a certain point. You need to be eating enough. People talk about ultras as being really painful. And my take on that is you probably didn't train properly, because it shouldn't be, I don't think it should be that as painful as some people talk about it being. And we shouldn't be striving to hurt ourselves.
Right. Right. That's psychologically, that's something different.
Yeah.
And you might need to go see someone beside a running coach if you're striving to hurt yourself.
I agree. Yeah. Understanding like what's going on. And certainly there's a lot of, I think people trying to, balance their mental health in ultra running. And running is great for helping with that, but it doesn't, what happens when you stop running, like you'll get injured or surgery or, you need to
the issue will still
yourself.
be there.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to be able to cope in multiple ways, not just through running.
Excellent. Candice, this is good.
I learned that the hard way. That's how we learn all.
We speak from experience.
Just heard it from a friend.
Oh yeah, I'm just asking for a friend of mine.
Yeah. No, we learn these things.
Excellent. And speaking of preparation.
Yeah.
And so it's not just a suffer fest. You totally committed, coming back around here, to Nolan's 14. You had 2 races that you were signed up for or intending to do this summer. You didn't do them. Instead, you went up to the Sawatch. You got on the course. You did the whole course numerous times.
Yeah.
You were ready.
I was ready. Yeah, I did all the sections that I had any question of what route I was going to take. I did multiple times. I actually did Missouri Mountain quite a few times because I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do the East Ridge, the Class 4 loose scramble. And I decided, because I'd be going down it, no go. Just, again, to be safe.
but again, you didn't just go out there and say, hey, let's just go do this. It's going to be wild and crazy. You projected it.
Yeah. And I think a route like this deserves that kind of respect because you're doing a lot of off trail and you really need to understand what you're going to be going through. Especially like me going by myself, self-supported. I needed to know how long things would take roughly, take enough calories, take the right gear. And really, you have to make hard decisions because you want to bring all these things, but that's too heavy. So, I got a little cold up there, but I had enough gear, if I needed a rescue even, I would have been able to sit it out. But, I would have liked a heavier down jacket.
You were right on the line, so to speak.
Yeah, it was on the line. Just trying to keep it like light enough, but I had to carry a lot of calories. I had a few caches along the way, but my pack was still easily 13 pounds at times.
Ah, okay. That's, yeah.
Well, food and water, because as soon as you leave like tree line,
there's no water.
There's no water. And there's probably not water within X distance of tree line. It's usually a lot lower.
You're not following stream beds and Nolan's 14.
No, I had to carry a lot more water than I would have liked.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I think that was something that added to that weight. I mean, that's part of the 13 pounds for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Water weighs a lot.
Because gear wasn't huge, but I also chose to have a better waist light, and I thought that was important.
Did you have 2? Did you have a headlamp and a waist, or just the waist?
Both. Yeah.
Both.
Got to have 2.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because then you got depth perception because the angle formed
you can look out there or it's important. We know.
People don't understand why that would be the case.
Right.
But having 2 different angles changes how it works.
It does. And on Nolan's, you're figuring out where you're going. And at night is definitely the hardest. Night through the boulder fields, between Harvard and Columbia. Ah, man, that route. That's one I want to like really do more times and commit to memory.
Well, again, we're speaking on October 3rd, and the other Killian, people have heard of, Killian Jornet, has almost finished his States of Elevation project.
Right. Which is just amazing. He was out there when I was.
He was?
Yeah. I didn't see him, but he must have done Mount Massive. I think it was the same day.
Really?
But I went off trail up. So, yeah, I was looking at the dates they were posting. So I was hoping to see him, and be like, hi. But I didn't.
Well, I was going to note that you look at the photographs, he's bundled up.
Yeah, it's got to be cold out there.
Yeah, he's wearing a puffy hood, gloves, essentially in every photograph.
That's tough.
Yeah, well, it's the mountains, and he's literally, I can say this, the best, and
Hmm.
yet he carried the gear. He was not up there in his shorts and t-shirt trying to go uber light.
No, he's a mountaineer. Like he knows. I would certainly trust his judgment on those things. He knows what he's doing. Some of the stuff he does in the winter, is pretty wild. I would love to do that kind of stuff.
Right.
One day.
Well, we're going to kind of wrap up the Nolans thing, and in a way to the least important part
All
was
right.
we had the La Plata fire closure, which we had to go around. Thank you for doing that, because
Yeah.
it's illegal to go through fire closures.
Right.
So
Yeah.
good job, Candice. And that added some time and so on and so forth. So you came up a little short.
I did.
And
Yeah.
so I'm bringing this up almost with reluctance, because in a way it's like, so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because look at the experience you got. Look at what you learned and the experience you have. So it's only with reluctance that we, to be kind to our listeners, we have to inform them that you didn't quite get all the summits.
Right. I did not. And according to the Nolan's website, it's if you don't, there's no DNFs though.
Right. It's however many you
So
got.
I got 10. I wish Hope Pass counted because it was like another mountain climb. That would be 11. In my head, I was like, I would be up La Plata now. And then, it ended up mentally being harder than I expected to do that extra mileage.
Well, no, it's way harder. I mean,
A little harder. Yeah.
you had this route dialed, and this is basically 100 miles with massive vertical gains. So to add on to it, it's like when you take a wrong turn at a 100-mile trail race.
Yeah,
you come back on the trail and you're like totally deflated.
It's tough, but for me, it took pressure off in a way. I have so much going on, I feel like right now, and I was kind of trying to fit it in. So when the pressure came off, it was like, I did this whole summer for myself and for adventure and to try to figure out like what's the next direction for me. And I'm so glad I did that. And so I made it 83 miles, 10 of the 14 summits. 36,000 feet of climbing. I'm proud of my
36,000 feet.
Yeah.
I just kind of want to make sure people didn't I heard that clearly, because Hard Rock is less than that. The Trail du Mont Blanc is less than that.
Right.
So that's a solid effort.
It was a solid effort and a lot of off trail. So it's hard to really explain for anybody who hasn't done the route. Like the off trail sections are hard.
Yeah. It doesn't mean you're stepping over logs. You're going up very steep Taylor slopes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Sometimes it is logs. Like coming off Huron, you go down the scree field and then you have this forest. And for some reason, I always take the wrong line and I'm like crawling over like multiple logs. And it was, I was like, how I'm doing this on the attempt. Like I went the wrong way. But that's just part of the challenge. You can't put markers out. You can't so I would have had to memorize the perfect route if there even is one. I haven't found it.
Right. No, to pre-mark the course, that would be poor tactics.
Oh, yeah, it's not allowed. Yeah, no, that would be wrong.
But I have to technically ask you, what about the GPX track? Because people are totally doing that, but you're trying to memorize it visually and by feel rather than the track?
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
interesting.
Well, so I did each section enough times that of course, at night, it was almost impossible to follow it without using the GPX track because you just can't see far enough.
No.
Yeah.
No. The headlamp giving you 40 feet.
Yeah. So hard. So I don't know how to memorize things that way, but yeah. I mean, I could work on this for the rest of my life and not nail it perfectly, I'm sure.
You could, probably.
But give it another 50 years,
So two last questions here. I have to, when we're talking about navigation and so forth, and you considered Barkley?
It doesn't interest me. And I think what interests me is maybe proving that women can do it, because I know women can do it. There just aren't enough people who have done it to show. I mean, obviously, Jasmine, finally, amazing. I'm so stoked that now people can't say no woman is finished, because that's the one thing I was like, but the thing is like, I like big mountains,
right?
And I think that like a line like Nolan's really interests me, but Barkley, just something to just show that you can suffer
Right.
just doesn't interest me as much.
Right.
I want to suffer and feel like there's some beautiful meaning, or at least climb a mountain.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't think so.
Well, you wrote, I'm going to quote you again, Candice, that is why I fell in love with Nolan's. It required me to accept my mortality and draw on every skill I had learned. I was hooked. I needed the excitement and the fear to go after something this big. You actually said that. The fear was something that you utilized to add impetus to your attempt.
Yes. I mean, for me, it's, I believe that if you have a question of what to do in terms of athletics, this race or that race, pick the one that excites you and scares you, because then you're going to be motivated and you have something to overcome. Fear is something to overcome. And so if you only have excitement, then it probably isn't a big enough challenge.
Wow.
And if you only have fear, it's probably too big of a challenge.
Oh, wow. This is quotable.
Yeah.
I'm going to repeat this back because I think I need to hear this myself. If there's only excitement, it's like, okay, not enough.
Yeah.
But if there's only fear, that's too much. So a little mix of excitement and fear, the balance is what you're going for in your next project.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think for me, sometimes decisions can be hard. Like, do I want to do this or that? There's so many cool routes out there. So I think that's one way to narrow it down.
Wow. Wow. That reminds me of some of my projects I've been doing in the Alps.
Ooh.
And a little bit of fear.
A little bit of fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's important.
Yeah. These glacier crossings, it's like,
something could happen.
Right. Something could indeed happen. And you said a few minutes ago, next summer, you're looking at round 2.
For sure. Nolan's has captured my heart, for sure. Yeah. And I think, doing the route that I want to do without a fire is important. And I would love to dedicate the whole summer to it, but I think that I'll kind of do. Francois went out, and I was actually backpacking the route. It's so interesting. I was on the route so much, I was out there when everybody was.
So Francois Dion at the FKT in June.
Yes. And
he's from France, and he's won Ultra Trail du Mont Blanc a few times.
He crushed it on his first attempt, which is unusual. But again,
he still holds the FKT and the John Muir Trail, by the way. Support it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Francois goes full on support as his style.
Yes. And he said in some of his videos, he likes to have that. Like, he likes to have those people in their part of it. Yeah, so that's kind of his style. But he was out there, I was backpacking it, and it was I would see his glissades down the snow.
Oh, you'd see his tracks.
Oh yeah, like they were just riding the snow down. It was impressive. Like, there were some scary glissades that they just went for.
Well, ski mountaineering in the winter helps that.
Yes, he has that kind of experience. So I think that timing is really good, though, for Nolan's if you know the route already, because it's still cool. You don't have as many thunderstorms. So I could see myself kind of going a little earlier season.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah.
And going back to the Colorado 14ers, another famous FKT, and quite a long time ago identified that June actually is the best month because the so-called Colorado monsoon comes about the middle of July, and those afternoon thunderstorms come in, and then there's no choice.
Nope.
You got to get off.
It's scary. And not only can you get struck by lightning, and your chances of being struck by lightning, I believe, once you're out of the tree line is like times 1,000, or it might be more, but I read about it. And, the kind of people who are struck are us, pushing the boundaries. So you do have to be very mindful of that. It can strike 5 miles away from where you think it is. But that being said, like, the scary thing to me too, those monsoons, like, it can heavily rain for a significant portion of time. And if you don't have a waterproof jacket and clothing, exposure is scary.
Hypothermic is coming quickly.
Yes. Hours. I mean, it's dangerous.
Interesting. So pre-monsoon, you have to let the snow get mostly off.
Yes.
You can't be post-holing, but a little bit of north face snow
can make you faster.
Right.
Yeah, I'm thinking, Well, I'll have to get better at glissading. I'll work on it this winter.
I've always had a theory. It takes 2 attempts. Most of my big projects I've done twice.
Oh, interesting.
It is for
Yeah.
30 years I've noticed, the second time, and which is fair. Because you
Yeah.
want to, like you said very adroitly, you want to respect the route. You want to do
Yes.
something that requires your full attention. And if you can just go out there and knock it off, well, that's not really an adventure.
No.
An adventure is when you don't know what's going to happen. But then I do want to succeed. So doing it
absolutely.
a second time is
It's important. You need that little bit of confidence. But yeah, you want your hard work to feel like it went to something and then you can move on.
right.
And it's hard to move on from a challenge that you're in love with if you can't finish it.
Right.
Yeah. So
Excellent.
that's important.
Excellent.
That's important. Do you feel like the 2 attempts is also because you're doing them self or unsupported style? So you kind of need to learn. I mean, there's so much more that rides on you
Right.
in those circumstances.
Well, part of it for me is a somewhat of a reluctance to go at night the first time
Okay.
because I want to see it.
Yeah.
So I've done a lot out in the Four Corners area in the Utah desert and Canyonlands. And the first time through, sometimes, I'm just going to bivvy because I want to see what's going on around here. And then the second time, I'm a little
You're
more
like,
reluctant
okay.
just to kind of throw it down.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first time's kind of a soft attempt.
Sometimes it's been like that, and sometimes
Yeah.
it's just been a failure.
I'm going to sleep now. Yeah.
Yeah, I did a route. I called it the Triple Trek, all 3 districts of Canyonlands National Park,
Ooh,
which required swimming the rivers.
that's amazing.
And it took 3 tries in that one.
Okay.
There's a few things to figure out.
Yeah, it sounds a little more complicated than just getting from point A to point B.
Right. You got to swim the rivers.
How far are you Are you crossing or are you?
Oh, yeah, definitely
Okay.
crossing because it's kind of cold and
Okay.
like that.
Would you cross by swimming or were you able to use a boat?
Yeah, swimming.
Swimming. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's all sorts of super funky techniques. You hold me in regard, so I'm not going to tell you what I've done because I don't want you to think less of me.
Okay. Now I'm curious.
So, at this age, I get to kind of ride on my my reputation rather than reveal what a complete idiot I have been for many decades.
Oh, but what fun is that?
Well, see, now when you have your own podcast,
Okay.
then you could ask me.
I'll bring you on.
I'll have to answer. But right now, you see,
Ah,
I can just
you get to decide.
yeah, I'm a cool guy. I know what I'm doing, and just see if people believe that.
I think people will probably believe that till we get you on mine.
Okay.
My podcast that doesn't exist.
Right. Or until I try one of your 200 milers and see what a wimp I really am.
Or maybe you find out that you really love them. You know? Yeah.
Excellent.
Could be.
Could be. Candice, you are so thoughtful and so adventurous.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing this time. I think people really benefit from hearing your honest perspective from a person who's personally done really hard projects with a little bit of self-reflection and been a race director and seen other people do this and
Right.
offered some good advice on the worth it parts and the parts you might want to be careful of.
Yeah, there's a lot. And there's a lot to learn. It's exciting to see all these new people getting into the sport. So I think anything that we can share, us veterans, to help people learn how to do these things,
Right.
It's, I remember getting into the sport and just listening to all the podcasts I could, being so excited about it, but knowing nothing. So, hopefully it gives people more tools to get out there and do some cool stuff.
Thank you for sharing your time, Candice.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for joining me. I feel like I'm with all my friends. This is Buzz Burrell, and I'll be back 2 weeks from today, delivering more thoughts you've probably never heard before. This podcast is a production of UltraSignup and releases every other Tuesday, alternating with The Trailhead with Zoe Rome and Brendan Leonard. If you've enjoyed this, please subscribe and click that button that says 5 stars because that helps other people find it.